Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and this is going to be a look at the Oakley Tombstone. Now I know there's been a lot of questions surrounding this model, specifically in the design and construction of it. I've been using it for the past month and a half, so hopefully I'll be able to answer any of those questions. I'll be going through certain key points regarding it, but as always, if you do have any further questions, feel free to leave them below. Now Tombstone was designed with the input of the Army shooting team as to what exactly they needed from their eyewear of choice. And three areas of focus came up. First one being field of view. So here in front of you I have the Tombstone array kit. So I'll go ahead and open that up so you guys can see it. And here is one example of Tombstone. So as far as field of view comes into play, what they did is they retrofitted some glasses with eye tracking technology to find out exactly where in the lens were the shooters looking through when they were engaging their targets. What they found is the majority of the active shooting was coming through right in the center of the lens. So that's when you're physically engaging your targets. But also the majority of the passive looking through the lens, or when you're scanning your area for targets, was coming from the higher area in the lens right here. So what they did is they went ahead and did away with the top frame so as to not have any blocking of that passive engagement. What you get is also a 120-degree field of view with the lens. The lens is very wide and it wraps all the way around, but again, with zero obstruction. It's very, very nice, very lightweight, which is something that definitely comes into play, especially if you're going to be wearing them for a prolonged amount of time. Now, the second area of focus was contrast and clarity. Now, what Oakley did is they fitted Tombstone with their new Prizm technology lenses. Now, what Prizm does is it maximizes contrast, it enhances vision, and it also reduces eye fatigue and strain. Perfect for, obviously, your active shooter. Now, Prizm technology, when it comes to shooting, what it does is it makes targets stand out against different backgrounds like foliage, dirt, or the sky. So basically what that does is it enhances the way the target looks against those backgrounds. One example with the sky is if you're doing clay shooting. Obviously, the clay pigeons will look a lot brighter against the blue sky through the Prizm technology. Now, there are two lenses that Oakley came up with for Prizm shooting. The first one is TR22, and then the second one is TR45. Now, what you see here is TR45, which is the lighter shade. And what this is it's an actual upgrade to the persimmon lens. This is going to be great for your overcast days, your indoor shooting, your low light conditions. Again, it's going to increase the contrast of the target against specific backgrounds. Now, right in here is the second lens, and this is the TR22. Now, this is obviously the darker version, and what it is, it's an upgrade to a gray lens. A lot of standard issue frames come equipped with gray lenses, but again, you do have that decreased contrast with the gray lens. What the TR22 is going to do is, on a bright sunny day, your brighter environments, it's going to increase the contrast of those targets against the different backgrounds, and again give you a better shooting experience. Now, Tombstone is going to be equipped with two size lenses. The one you see here is the Spoil, which is the smaller version. And then there's going to be a larger version available, which is called the Reap. The third area of focus was lens interchangeability. As majority of shooters know, your environment can sometimes change depending on if you're inside, outside, especially if you're outside. Your bright sunny day might become an overcast day. But just as anybody else knows, when you do switch out lenses on any type of frame, the key thing is, or the drawback is, you're going to have to touch the lens in order to switch that out. Now, what Oakley did with Tombstone is they equipped it with what is called a single release trigger to exchange the lenses. So as you guys can see here on the side, there's a trigger right here at the bottom. What you do is you go ahead and press that, and it releases the stem from the lens itself. So that is very easy. And then to replace it, you just slide it back in and it clicks back into place. As you guys noticed, at no time that I have to have my fingers touching the frame or the lens, touching the lens itself. I just have my fingers around the lens, press the trigger, pull, and the stem comes out. Now, speaking of the stems, these are obviously very thin, which is really nice. What that does is it makes it compatible with over-the-ear hearing protection. So that was one thing that personally I noted, that when I wore other frames, when I had my over-the-ear hearing protection, sometimes I had to adjust the stems of the glasses in order to fit underneath there, and sometimes they might not even fit depending on the type of frame that you're wearing. These, as you can see, are very thin. They slide right underneath the hearing protection and you don't even feel them. There is a strip of unobtainium right here. And then you also have unobtainium on the nose. So if you sweat, the lenses aren't going to move around. They're going to be very comfortable. As I mentioned before, they are very lightweight, which is a key point. Especially if you're going to be wearing them for a prolonged amount of time, or if you're going to be engaging targets on the move and things like that, that definitely does play a big role. Now, these will be available in spring of 2015 through the Oakley Standard Issue site. There are going to be a lot of different color options. As you guys saw here, I have the TR45, TR22, and it also comes with a clear lens, obviously, if you want that option. Now, the lenses are also anti-fog treated. So if you do maybe engage targets and you're running and huffing and puffing and things like that, the lenses will not become fogged. It comes with your standard microfiber bag. And then right in here also you have a extra solution for the anti-fog treatment, which is right in there. It's really cool. It comes in this little microfiber bag and a microfiber cloth that extends out to go ahead and apply that back onto the lenses. Put that back in there. Now, as a personal note, again, I have been trying these out and testing them for the past couple months, about a month and a half to 2 months. The Prizm technology definitely does make a big difference, especially when you're engaging targets against different colored backgrounds and things like that. Depending on the targets that you're using, they do the contrast is a lot higher. It's a lot easier to see against those different colored backgrounds. I really enjoy how lightweight these are. That's one thing that I can't stress enough, especially if you're going to be wearing your hearing protection. Maybe you have on a baseball hat or something like that. That's a big key point also. As you guys can see, these do fold. I know that was one of the questions, if they folded, and they do. And obviously, exchanging the lenses with that single release trigger is very easy, which I do enjoy. I don't have to worry about pulling out the microfiber cloth to wipe down the lenses or anything like that. So there it is. Hopefully I have answered a lot of the questions that were out there. Again, if you do have any further questions, feel free to leave them. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch the camera view around, and I'll go ahead and put them on as always so you guys can see what they look like on me. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here I am. I'll go ahead and put on the Oakley Tombstone so you guys can see what they look like. So there it is. This is the TR45 Prizm shooting specific lens. Again, this is the lighter shade one. Again, great for your indoor shooting, overcast days. So you guys can see it has a really nice wrap all the way around, 120 degrees field of view. What I was speaking to earlier, if you do look down, you're trying to scan the horizon for targets and things like that, you're not aware of any type of frame because, again, there is no frame there. Sometimes, depending on the type of glasses that you're wearing or eye protection you're wearing, even though it might not bother you, you're always going to be aware that the frame is there. With this, I don't see the nose piece. There is no frame. The field of view is wide enough to where I don't see a frame on the sides. But again, it does offer the Prizm technology all the way around. If I do have to press in to engage targets further away, as you guys can see, I'm looking kind of further up on there, and it's basically no obstruction whatsoever. The stems right here, they come all the way down, which is really nice, very close to the face. So if I do have my hearing protection on, that is not going to obstruct or bother me in any way. The unobtainium on the ears and on the nose lets the frame sit in place, and especially if I'm sweating, running around, engaging targets, looking up, down, things like that, they're not going to move around. And again, they're very lightweight, so they're going to be very, very comfortable. You know, it's blocking out the light exactly where it should. Right in here, you have no light coming through, which is really nice. Obviously, as I mentioned before, this is the spoil-sized lens. So this is the smaller one. The bigger REAP version will be available as well. So it all depends on how much coverage you need for your particular type of face. So there it is. This is the Oakley Tombstone. Again, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.